Alright guys, it's Tuesday. Today we're going to be working on 11-1 and 11-2 multiplying fractions and whole numbers. You guys have learned how to multiply whole numbers. Today we're going to work on fractions with whole numbers. When in everyday life might you want to multiply a fraction and a whole number? Anybody have a clue, like one example of in our everyday life when we might use this? Go ahead, Sally. Cooking is a wonderful example. I love brownies. So when I'm baking brownies, I want 3 pans of brownies instead of 1 pan of brownie. I mean, obviously. So we have to triple the recipe. One way we could do that is multiplying, if it calls for a half a cup of sugar, multiplying that by 3. Thank you, Sally. So the example we're going to use today is Emily has 6 eggs. She needs 2/3 of the eggs to make an omelet. How many eggs does she need? So let's copy down our question. Emily has 6 eggs. She needs 2/3 of the eggs to make an omelet. How many eggs does she need? So if you're not done copying, let's just watch how we would solve this. So the way we would write this problem is 6 times 2/3. And that basically equals that we have 2/3 6 times. And I could write that out long form. I could do 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So when I say 6 times 2/3, that means that I have 2/3 6 times, and it's equivalent. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I add all those up, on the top I would have 2, 4, 6, 8, let me see, 10, 12. And my denominator when I add doesn't change, okay? So 6 times 2/3 are 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3 equals 12/3. Now I'm not done yet because I need to simplify. Okay? And I know that 3 goes into 12. I need to divide. I'm going to divide each side by 3. Because I know that 3 goes into 3. And I know that 3 goes into 12. So 12 divided by 3 is 4. And 3 divided by 3 is 4 over 1. And 4 over 1 is the same as 4. So I know that Emily needs 4 eggs to make an omelet. Okay, so if you guys need to pause the video here, this is where we can go ahead and pause to catch up, if that's what we need to do. And then your guided practice for this would be on page 253. And I just want you to do 1 through 4 because we're going to do something else. And then I also want you to do independent practice. And we're going to do 15 through 22. Page 253. So this would be page 252. 15 through 22. Go ahead and slide this up so you guys can see this. So once again, if you need to pause to get caught up to this part, just pause the video. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show an example for 11-2, but we're not going to do too much work in 11-2 because we'll master some of that later on. Basically what 11-2 does, it talks about multiplication as scaling or resizing. And it tries to it asks us to multiply two mixed numbers and then find out if they're going to be less or greater than originally what we were multiplying by. So for 11-2, and I'm going to do a combo note, so you guys can go ahead and just make your example right here. Should be multiplication. Let me slide it up so you can see this. As scaling, I'm going to give you two examples. And the first one is 1 1/2 times 4. And the question is, fill in the box. Can you guys not see that? I'm sorry. So with less than, greater than, or equal to. So the way I can look at this, is we talked about this yesterday, is I can look at parts to wholes or wholes to wholes. Now, if I want to find out if this equation, 1 1/2 times 4 would be greater than 4 or less than 4 or equal to, I need to see what am I multiplying 4 by. Well, I know I'm multiplying 4 by 1. If I multiply by 4 by 1, does that automatically say it's going to be equal to 4? If I multiply 4 times 1, does that automatically say it's going to be equal to 4? What is 4 times 1?
4.
I know I still have my fraction. I know that. But I know automatically it's going to be at least equal to 4, right? Now, I know I have 1 1/2. Is 1 1/2 greater than 1?
Yeah.
So my answer is going to be greater than 4, right? Do we see that connection or no?
Yeah, definitely. I did this on podcast.
Now, another example we could use is 4/5 times 2 2/3. And then we want to find out if, gotta keep sliding my computer, there we go. We want to find out if our answer of 4/5 times 2 2/3 is going to be greater than, less than, or equal to 2 2/3. What we're multiplying by, is it greater than or less than 1? Less than 1. So is our answer going to be equal to 2 2/3 or less than 2 2/3? Less than, right? Because in order to be equal to, we have to multiply by what?
1.
In order for this to be equal to 2 2/3, what would we have to multiply by? 1. So this is less than 2 2/3. Alright, guys? Now, the only thing I want you to do for 11-2 is I want you to do guided practice. And I want you guys to do 1 through 5 odd. So that would be page 254. 1 through 5 odd. Oh, you guys can't see this, can you? Let's slide my computer up, turn it some. There you guys go. Now, if you need to pause somewhere, go ahead and pause. I know this was a long page, so go ahead and do what you guys got to do. Oh, another thing. Like or subscribe. I need 100 subscribers so I can have a custom URL. So when you guys go to YouTube, you just go to youtube.com/savagemath. So if we get to 100, then we get that. All right, guys. See you later.